If you've ever wanted to make something macrame, but you've been a little intimidated by the process, this is the project for you. Today, I'm going to show you how to make this really cute plant hanger. And don't worry, it's so simple. I'm going to walk you through everything. You don't need much for this project. It's really simple. Of course, you're going to need some sort of string. You can use a cotton string like I did on that first project. Today, I'm going to be using some leftover cordage that I have from another macrame project I did. And this is the heavy duty outdoor stuff because I'm going to have my planter outside this summer. So I want to make sure it can hold up to the weather. Next, you'll need to make sure you have a pot. Personally, I do think it's easier to work with an empty pot, but if you only have something that has a plant in it already, like this one I made for my daughter, this is a fake plant that came in this pot. It's doable, but just use what you have. Last but not least, a few little housekeeping things. Obviously, we're gonna need scissors. I'm gonna use a tape gun. You don't have to, but I'll show you. And if you have a twisty tie, it might come in handy. You can also use a hair clip or something else. I'll show you what I'm talking about real soon. Let's get started. First, we're going to get 8 pieces of our cordage, whatever type you're using. Now, there's something you need to know about me. I'm not a perfectionist, so I don't have any length to give you. I measure by my arm span. So for this project, I'm gonna do about 3 arm spans, okay? So it's gonna depend on the size of your pot, of course, but this one's a little bit bigger. So you're gonna measure, I just measure it out once, and then I'm gonna use that cord to measure 7 more pieces. Okay, I have my 8 strands, and I want to show you this if you're a beginner because I've made lots of macrame things and I always measure the same way. And look, they all come out at different lengths. I don't really know why that happens. I guess it's the tension that we put on, or like here's a little loop-de-doo. But don't worry, okay? It's gonna be fine, and that little bit won't matter in the end. Now what you're gonna do is find the middle of all of your strands. And yeah, we're really varying in length here, but there we go. Okay, so it's long, so it's a little bit tricky, but you're gonna find the middle. And then what you're gonna do is use that twisty tie, or if you wanted to use a hair clip, something just to mark it. This isn't like a big part of the project, but it just helps to hold it in place. Okay, so I have the middle here. Now, a quick note, everyone's different. I like to lay everything down on my table. For me, that just works better. If you want to hang something up, we are gonna do some hanging, but for me, I like to lay it down on the table. And this particular pattern, we're not going to have a wooden loop, although those are beautiful. I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous 4-strand braid. It's so pretty and it's very simple. And that way you don't have to buy anything extra. So we're going to start with this here in the middle, and we're just going to think about going, you know, how long we want our hook to be. So I don't know, maybe 6 inches or so. All right, and then, so from the middle, sorry, that's probably awful sounding. From the middle, we're just gonna go back a few inches, just on one side, okay? And then we're gonna straighten this out. So we've got them all laid out. I tape them down, and you do wanna make sure each strand is touching the tape, otherwise it'll just pull through. This is our little reminder of the middle, which we don't need anymore. That's all we're using that twisty tie for. Now you're going to separate. We have 8 strands and we need them in groups of 4. So that's just 2 each. And all the way down, it can get a little tangly, but yes, you do need them kind of straight all the way down. And then we're going to do that really simple braid, okay? So if we split this in the middle, it's really easy. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to explain it to you. So you're going to cross, this is your right, this is the left. We have, let's say we have 2 groups here. You're going to cross the right over the left and the right over the left. Excuse me, scissors. And then we're going to cross the left over the right. That's it. Okay, I had to move my camera because I couldn't do the rest of the chords, but I'm going to show you again. It's so easy. Just don't pull too hard. Right over left, then left over right. And isn't that beautiful? So you're just going to keep going about like 6 inches like we talked about. Right over left, left over right. Now this cord I'm using, this outdoor cord, it's chunky, okay? I do try to keep it flat and not let it like twist a lot, so that's just me. I guess it just depends on your preference there, but I think it looks a little bit crisper if you do it that way. I'm not pulling tight. It's just taut, I guess I would say. It's taut because we want it to do well. And you can just check every now and then, okay, is that long enough? Do I want a longer loop? You know, whatever works for you. It's to show you, it is a little bit messy down here. And I'm just going to straighten that out in a minute. But I'm going to do a couple more just to keep, I want mine a little bit longer and I want to make sure you get this, okay? So right over left, left over right. This is such a pretty braid and I'm really curious if I could do it on my daughter's hair. I don't know. I don't know if I could hold 4 pieces though. I feel like it might slip too much, but some people count like how many should I do? I don't know. I'm just an eyeballer. I'm sorry. So I guess we could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's looking pretty good to me. This isn't the main part. So I think I'm going to stop right there. What I'm going to do is put my twisty tie back on here to help hold that in place. Okay, once you've got your loop, I'm going to take mine over to this wreath hanger. This is one of the parts I think it is easier to have it hanging, and we just want those ends to kind of line up there. Look at this tangled mess. So I'm going to straighten that out. It's like a little braid going on here down at the bottom. We don't need that. So just try to keep things, you know, in order as you go. Okay, so then I'm going to show you how to bring this together and wrap it. First, we're going to take our twisty off. This strand I have is, oh, maybe about 1 arm's length, but I don't know, it doesn't really have to be very long. But so you're going to take this extra strand and you're going to lay this up against our braid, okay? But then you're going to loop it down here. And then you just wrap around. It's a little bit tricky to hold on to everything. Okay, can you see what we have going on there? This is staying up, my loop is staying down, and I'm just gonna wrap fairly tightly to hold it all together nice and secure. And it's totally up to you. How many wraps do you wanna do? You know, it can really change the style. This whole project, there's so much variation and it can change things. I think I'm going to do like quite a few on this one. I think I only did maybe 5 on my daughter's, but might as well use this cordage, huh? Okay, so whenever you get as many as you'd like, you still have your loop here, and you're just going to take the end of that and put it through, pulling it taut. But then the string that you left at the top, you're gonna pull up on that. Oh, I hope I didn't block it. Okay, you're just pulling up and you kind of shift it so it goes under there. And that's it. Then you're just gonna snip the excess off of both the top and the bottom. We don't need that. And, you know, if you want, you can kind of push that up in there so it's not noticeable. How about that? Great. Now, your choice. You can keep working from here as it's hanging. I'm gonna move back to the table. It's just easier for me. I personally tape mine to the table. That's just what works best for me, but it's totally up to you. So what you wanna do now, we have 16 strands. That's a lot. And what we're going to do is divide them into 4 sections. So that's 4 groups of 4. And we're just gonna work in one section at a time. So we're kind of dividing this up to make these beautiful strands, braids, knots. I guess they're knots, technically. All right, 4 groups of 4. Okay, so we've got our groups all laid out here. I'm only focusing on one at a time. Within my one group, I have 4 strands. We're gonna take the 2 outer strands and think of this as almost like one. It's the inner 2. Okay, so this is called the square knot, and it's going to be the most complicated knot, but watch how easy. You're going to take your left strand, and I like to think of it as making a number 4. Doesn't that look like the fancy number 4? So your left is going to cross the 2 middles on top, but then your right strand, it's going to go behind. So I actually just pick up the right strand and put it over. Okay, then your right strand is going to come behind those 2 middle and up through your number 4. And then you're going to pull it. The string is so long. And then you just kind of gently pull those outer strands till it's tight. You're kind of wiggling those middle ones, and that's it. That's the first half. Okay, you did half. So you're gonna do the exact same thing, but this time we're gonna use the right side. So it's still a number 4, it's just backwards, right? Crossing over those 2. Then we bring the outer one over, under the 2, and up through our 4. And then it kind of helps if you can hold these 2 gently. You can't see me, but I'm using my leg to, they're on the table, and I'm using my leg to kind of hold them. Then I can just gently pull this taut. That's it. You're going to do that over and over and over again. Let me do it with you one more time. Make the number 4, starting on the left, we make the number 4. The right strand goes over, under, and through. That reminds me of Sesame Street from when I was little. Do you guys remember that? Over, under, through. Okay, now the right side, making the number 4, backwards number 4. The left comes over, under, through. This whole time, my leg has just been holding those 2 inner strands to kind of keep it taut. And you're gonna do that as many times as you want. Just make that as long as you want it to be. I'm gonna go with maybe 6 or 7 times, but you do whatever you think looks best. Once you've completed your square knots, as many as you'd like, you can just let that lay, and then you just move on to the next. The only counting we need to do is to make sure that each strand is the same, so everything's even. So if you lose count, I used to get so upset when I first started, I'd lose count, but then I realized you can just count the loops here on the edge. Can you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So on all the other sections, you're gonna do the same number to keep it even. Once you've got all of your square knots done, all 4 strands, we're going to think about changing the strands. So if we think about what we just did, these 2 strands in the middle, they didn't really do anything. They were just passive, right? But these were our working strands. If we keep using these same strands, they're gonna end up a lot shorter than these at the end. So we don't want that to happen. So we just need to do a little loop-de-doo and switch. Put your outer strands to the inside and your inner strands to the outside. Then I like to leave a little bit of space. I think it looks cool. It's just a little bit of a twist there. You can keep it long, you know, you could keep it an inch, a couple inches, whatever looks good to you. And now we're going to do the spiral, which is going to be slightly easier than the last one, but very similar. So we're going to make our 4 using the left. We're going to make our 4, and we're going to go over, under, and through. Oops, I forgot to hold my inner ones kind of taut with my leg there. That's why that's making it a little bit harder. And just go to where you think it looks good. That's it. That's all you're going to do for this knot. This is going to create a spiral, and what we're going to do is keep going with the number 4 on the left only. Starting with the left only. I hope that makes sense. Coming up through. I'm going to do a couple to show you because this is my favorite knot. I think it looks so cool. Remember, don't do the right side this time, only the left. When I say only the left, I'm talking about only make the 4 on the left. You do use the right strand to finish the knot, but in the square knot, we reversed and went this way, so we're not doing that. Can you see the spiral coming already? I just think these are so cool. My daughter says it looks like DNA, and now I can't unsee that, but I still really like them. So here we go again. This is totally your choice. You get to decide how long do you want your spiral, how much DNA do you want on your hanger. I really like them, so I probably am gonna go pretty long with it. But once again, all you have to do is count the loops. Hopefully you can, let me move you so you can see this just a little bit closer. So each strand or each little loop there counts as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's spiraling, 7, 8, I'm up to 9, and I'm gonna keep going. I went ahead and did 20 of the spiral knots because I just love them, and I thought it looked good to have like 3 loops there, 3 spirals, I guess. And this, again, this is where this project gets so fun because you get to decide what to do next. So you can be done with the strands and bring everything together, which I'll show you how. Or I think I'm gonna go back and do a couple of the square knots and just have that in there as well. Whatever you do, if you are going to do more knots, just remember we need to switch again. So the 2 inner strands need to come out and the outer strands need to come in. Again, up to you how long you leave this. But yeah, I think I'm going to do a couple more of the square knots. I hope your project is going really well. I hope you're feeling confident. I went ahead and did 7 of the square knots at the top, then I did 20 spirals, and then I added another 5 square knots. So if you're someone who really likes a recipe, that's what I did, just to help you out. Now we're gonna work on bringing it together so it's gonna hold our planter. We're gonna look at the 4 strands individually, and I'm going to show you how we're going to bring them together. So let's call this A, B, C, and D. From strand A, we're going to put the left strands to the side. We're not using those right now. But the right strands, we're going to bring them together with B's left strands. That's going to be our new 4 that we're working with. And all you're going to do is come down several inches here and do a square knot. You already know how, right? So we're going to do the 4. The right side goes under. Wait, sorry. Right side goes over first, under, then through. Don't pull too tight, but we do want to keep it, solid here. My leg is not able to hold the middle strands because of where the camera is right now. This is up to you. How long do you want this? How big is your plant? We want to show off our work, our beautiful hanger that we're making, but of course, the point is to have a beautiful plant in there. So Okay, and then we just do the other side. And that's it. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing here with the right of strand B and the left of strand C. The important part here is to try to keep it the same length. So I'm just leaving that close by so I can gauge about how long it needs to be. Try to keep those tight. That's so funny that my method, it's like when I can't do it, it feels a lot harder. But okay, that looks about good. And up through. Yeah, that looks good. You're just going to do that. Now we will do strands C and D. Whoops, sorry about that. Thought I could get my leg in there. Okay, whoops, I pulled this up a little too high, so I just kind of wiggle it loose again. No big deal. And we're gonna finish that. Now, it seems as though you would be able to like pull this together or go under. It usually tangles for me. So, okay, so I've got it hanging on my wreath hanger now. Just to bring that last one together, I've tried to do it on the table and I end up twisting it and it doesn't work out. So, just do the last one here. And again, I find it trickier to do it standing. I don't know if it's the gravity of the strands or what, but you know, maybe it'll work for you. I don't know. But I like to do most of mine on the table and then just do the last part kind of that I have to while it's hanging. But that's just me. Let me know what you think, what worked for you. That one's just kind of being finicky. Okay, we've got it. Can you see that? We've got this circle. And what is nice is to put your planter in there, your pot, whatever, and just get a feel for it of how this is going to work. I promise it will go. Hello. There it goes. Okay. Just takes a little bit of work. Okay. So it's not going to hold it yet. I know that. But that is going to be so gorgeous. And you can decide, like, so I might want these to be at the top, or maybe I want it to end right there. And so I can think about how many more knots I need to do and then bring it together at the bottom. So what you're going to do now, I'm just going to leave this here to, I'm not going to be able to work with it there, but I think this gray background might be helpful for you to see that now we're going to bring the two strands from this. I don't know what letter it is anymore. I've lost track, but so we're going to bring the two inner ones right together, and we're going to do another square knot there, and then we would go back and do it the other way. So I'll try my best to show you that we're just kind of making like this, I don't want to say weave or basket, but just this holder, right? So it'll hold our planter in place. Okay, it does not want to stay there right now though. Whoops. So for me, I like symmetry, I like things equal. So I'm going to try to look at my next knot and keep it about the same length as my first one. And it's just the same thing, guys. It's just another square knot. And the beauty of this is it doesn't have to be perfect. It can vary a lot and still be beautiful. Another addition that people sometimes do is they would use some wooden beads here instead of doing a knot, they might strand the bead on there, which is lovely. I haven't found any beads that fit this heavy duty cordage, so I haven't been able to do that, but maybe someday, maybe somewhere I'll find some beads that work. So you're just going to work your way around and just make sure you're not like twisting the whole thing. Just make sure it's all staying open and ready to hold your pot. And once again, we just try to keep it equal. Oops. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, and so again, just work your way around, and depends on how much cordage you have left. It depends on how much cordage you want hanging, but it's really up to you how many knots you want to do, how close you want to do them. It could be a whole web of them or just a little bit more spaced out, kind of like mine, but totally up to you. Okay, we're almost done. I went ahead and did 3 groups of square knots to bring that basket together. I don't know what else to call it, a basket. And now I'm gonna work my planter down here. And this is the part, see, this is easier to do without an actual plant. Oh, I hope I didn't make it too tight. You can, but you don't want to be breaking your plant, you know. I guess mine's kind of snug, which is good. That's good, right? We want it snug. There, that's what I was going for. All right, I just want mine to kind of be at the very edge of my last square knots. I like that. Okay, so then all you're gonna do is what we did in the beginning. You're gonna bring everything together. Nice and tight. Remember, we are gonna put a plant in here, so we, whoops, I didn't mean to open the door. So we want it to be fairly tight. And then you're just gonna do the same thing we did at the top with this string. This is about 1 arm's length. It's a little bit harder to see here, but I'm going to put it up so that that strand hangs above, right? And then we have our loop at the bottom, and then we're just gonna wrap around. This is, again, this is personal preference. How many wraps do you want to do? What do you want it to look like? Oops, I left that a little too long. I did a little extra loop there. I didn't mean to. Okay, so I'm at the end of mine, so I guess I'm done. I'm going to pull that through. And then with the top, I just pull the top string until it kind of pops through. There we go. We did it, guys. And you can kind of cinch it so that it's closer to your pot if you want. You don't have to. It just depends on what you like. All right, got my scissors here. And of course, options again, this bottom, look how uneven they are. Look, this one is so short and this is long. So it's totally up to you if you want to cut them all nice and even. I've seen where people fray them, which can look cool, but it's just up to you. This one will probably not get noticed. I think I'm going to do mine kind of at this medium length here. Mostly even, but I'm not worrying about it if it's not perfect. Whoops. That's pretty good. I think what I might do is just cut this shorter and then just tuck it up in there so no one knows the difference. There. How about that? That's pretty cool. Now the real moment of truth. I'm gonna put the plant in there and see how it looks all done. Just being gentle. And now I get to fluff these beautiful branches. Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. Well friends, I hope you enjoyed making this plant macrame hanger with me today. Let me know how it goes for you and if you have any questions. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time.